There are 6 smart ways to get $1,000 in your bank account today, and 3 that almost always backfire. Let's get started. A credit card cash advance allows you to walk up to the ATM and take out up to 30% of your credit limit. You could get a few hundred to a few $1,000s in minutes. But there are a lot of downsides that you need to know. Most cash advances come with a fee when withdrawing, usually around 3 to 5%. Plus, there isn't any grace period, which means interest will begin accruing the moment the machine spits your money out. And with credit card interest rates around 25 to 30% right now, it's probably the worst time in history to owe money on your credit card. If you want to avoid that, you could try a cash advance app, and these work a little differently. Cash advance apps like Earnin and Bridget let you borrow smaller amounts of money, usually $100 to $300, and then deduct the money from your next paycheck. That means you don't have to worry about huge interest payments, and they come with much smaller fees. So if you don't need a full $1,000, the cash advance apps could be better than a credit card. But these apps also have a dark side and can be very dangerous if you use them irresponsibly. I'll cover why in one of our next videos, so make sure to subscribe. But this next one could be better than any cash advance option, and I'm talking about personal loans, which can get you up to $5,000. And unlike cash advances or other loans I'll cover in a sec, the benefit of personal loans is that they typically have much longer repayment plans, so you won't have to scramble to pay everything off right away. So if you're in a financial emergency and need money, this option could be for you. The downside of personal loans is that you will have to go through some sort of income verification or credit check. But since there are so many personal lenders out there, the type of income check or credit check and how fast you'll get your money depends on the lender. But since we're talking about getting money fast, a lender like CreditNinja could lend you up to $5,000 and can send cash the same day depending on when you apply. They can do this because their application process is very simple and fully online. And CreditNinja uses instant bank verification to check its applicants, which is a type of income check that looks at where you're at financially right now. Learn more about the application process in this video. So even if your credit score is low from things that happened years ago, you could still qualify for fast cash, sometimes on the same day you apply. The next method to get $1,000 fast is from a credit union. And if you thought a credit union was the same thing as a bank like I used to, you'll probably be surprised to learn why they are so different. To put it simply, they're nonprofit, members-only organizations. And because they're nonprofit, this means you can get access to a lower interest loan in just a few days to a week. Now, they generally come with a one-time membership cost, but it's usually under $30. And similar to CreditNinja, with their instant bank verification system, credit unions like to look at your overall financial health, not just your credit report. It's a great option, but if you need the money fast, like same day fast, it's probably best to go for a personal loan, as it could take some time to get approved and receive the funds through a credit union. Now for a bit of a curveball. Because with this method, you won't be getting $1,000, but you can also avoid spending $1,000, which is kind of the same thing, right? Millions of people are doing this with buy now, pay later apps. Apps like PayPal, Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay let you split up the costs of purchases into smaller payments over time. That means instead of dropping $300 on groceries or clothes today, you can spread that cost out across 4 weeks or longer, freeing up that money for other priorities. And yes, there are cons. The shortest repayment window doesn't have interest, but if you need longer to pay it back, these apps will charge you additional interest because it's essentially a personal loan. Just be careful. Late fees, interest rates, short repayment windows, and automatic charges can catch you off guard if you're not paying attention or you're using these apps for too many things. And it can be addicting. That's how the debt trap starts. Trust me. The Nintendo Switch 2 can wait. We're actually investigating the true impact and dangers of buy now, pay later apps in our next video. So subscribe if you're thinking of using them. You can't afford to miss it. Now, if you're not trying to take out a loan or rack up any fees, you could apply for a hardship grant. These are usually offered by nonprofits, churches, and local government programs. And unlike loans, you don't have to pay them back. They're designed for people going through real emergencies, behind on rent, facing eviction, can't pay for utilities, or dealing with unexpected medical bills. Sounds pretty good, right? But to get a grant, you have to show proof of hardship. That means things like eviction notices, utility shutoff warnings, or medical paperwork. And another con is that it's not instant. These programs usually take a few days or even weeks to process. But if you qualify, it's free money. There's no repayments, no interest, no strings. If you're really struggling, Just call 211 or go to usa.gov and search financial assistance. Now, the next way to get cash fast is a common loan option that guarantees same-day payouts, but should probably be avoided altogether. I'm talking about the three-headed dragon of payday loans, pawn shops, and title loans. Now, we've already covered why these should be avoided in another video, linked below. But if you're unfamiliar, this is how they work and how they could literally destroy your financial future. I personally avoid these like the plague, but I wanted to keep it fair and go over all possibilities. Payday loans let you borrow a few $100 against your next paycheck, but they also come with insanely high fees and interest rates that can trap you in a cycle of debt if you're not careful. Title loans let you borrow money using your car as collateral, but if you can't repay in time, you risk losing your vehicle completely. Then there's pawn shops where you bring in something valuable, whether that's jewelry, electronics, or your favorite guitar, and they give you a cash loan based on its value. If you repay the loan on time, you get your item back. If not, they just keep the item. No debt collectors. You don't want to get involved in any of these loans if you can avoid it. Trust me. The next way to get $1,000 right now is with one of the biggest secret types of loans out there, and that's a 401k loan. If you're like me, you probably thought that any money you have saved in a retirement account was untouchable until you hit retirement. But you can usually leverage the money in your retirement account without penalties if you do it the right way. This is how they work. First, you need to check that your employee retirement plan offers this type of loan. If you do, you can qualify for a loan up to $50,000 or half the amount of what you have in your account. So if you have $120K, you can only get $50K. And if you have $10K, the most you can get is $5,000. So if you have a retirement plan that's been building for a few years, you could probably get much more than the $1,000 you're looking for. And after you initiate the loan request, you can get your funds in just a few days. The interest rates are pretty low, usually in the single digits. They don't require credit checks, and the interest paid goes back into your 401k instead of to the bank. Let me repeat that. Instead of giving hundreds or thousands to the bank, that money is going right back into your retirement account. But there are some downsides. You'll usually be asked to repay the loan within 60 to 90 days. And if you can't do that, you'll be subjected to an early withdrawal penalty plus income taxes if you're under 59. And if you lose your job, you'll likely have to scramble to repay everything in just a couple of weeks. So in a turbulent job market, this could lead to a financial emergency. A lot of people also use these loans to help handle credit card debt. And we talk about the best ways to fix a credit card debt problem in this video, if you're in this boat. Whether you're looking for a quick $100 or a full $1,000, hopefully this gives you a few ideas that don't leave you worse than where you started. We'll see you in the next one.